Hey guys, this is David. Welcome to the channel if you're new and welcome back if you're not. I just wanted to start by saying that, man, happiness is overrated. And I think a lot of us have this misconception about happiness and we're confused about what happiness really is about. Even I am, but the reason why I'm saying this today is not to be negative. So let me give you some context. The other day I had a conversation with a friend, a pretty interesting one. And he shared with me that he felt really unhappy and he felt as if something was wrong with him because he wasn't happy, because things were not always rainbows and sunshines, you know? And I personally don't think that we're supposed to always be on, always be turned on, always be happy. It's not always sunshines and butterflies and rainbows, right? I think, the weather changes and you're bound to have bad days. You're bound to have days where you feel a bit off or you're not necessarily super happy. He really spoke to me, the words he said, because I felt this way so many times in the past. So I asked him, what makes you happy? When do you feel happy? What are things that contribute to that happiness? And most of his answers actually pointed toward pleasure and external things that are often out of our control, like dating, going out, wealth, money, achievements, attention from others, how we appear. It's very fleeting. It comes and it goes. So if you measure your level of happiness by the amount of pleasure that you get, well, so does your happiness. It'll come, it'll go. One day you feel good, one day you feel bad, and suddenly you're miserable. I think a lot of people think that happy people don't experience negative emotions or uncomfortable emotions like anger, frustrations, sadness, feeling overwhelmed, stress, anxiety. I think those are very natural emotions that everyone feels, including happy people. So if you feel them, it doesn't mean that you're unhappy or everything is wrong in your life. There's nothing wrong with that. And I think this is where we have it wrong. We're confusing happiness with pleasure when really what we're looking for is fulfillment. In The Happiness Trap, the author actually shares two different kinds of meanings to happiness. So the first one is pleasure, the most salient and the most fleeting form of all. This is what you see on social media, in the media, in movies where things are never bad. Everything is always good. Everyone's always happier. There's always a happy ending. In reality, things do turn bad sometimes for you, for me, for everyone. And that's normal. That's the reality. And the second meaning that the author associates to happiness is fulfillment. It's, knowing what you stand for, knowing what matters and going for it, having a sense of direction in life while not trying to avoid uncomfortable emotions like anger, sadness, frustration, anxiety, stress, and all of those emotions that we're all trying so hard to escape from. Chasing pleasure almost feels like an escape. Things like steak, sushi, vino, drugs, sex, and whatever other things that we use to avoid our reality. These things can only be there and consumed for so long until you have to face your reality again. And your reality comes with a full package and spectrum of human emotions, and pleasure can only cover them for so long. So this is where fulfillment comes in. Fulfillment means facing your reality, the uncertainties, the doubts, the painful events, the regrets, the uncomfortable emotions that you have to face, taking them head on, overcoming them, learning from them. And I think this is what will create a life worth living. Look, it'll rain sometimes, and sometimes it might even pour, but it's okay because it comes with the full package of being alive. And you're human, you have emotions. There's nothing wrong with you for having a bad day, for walking through a storm and maybe even stepping on a puddle. We all have one of those days, weeks, months, hopefully not months, but that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. So let's aim for fulfillment over gratification and pleasure, because a life of pleasure is not sustainable and could be the reason why we're also unhappy, especially these days when we spend so much time on social media, these social networks. Scratch that. Scratch what you see out there. Let's aim for a life worth living. Let's not chase for a life worth showing on Instagram, because that is not real. What is real and what really matters is your behind the scenes. So you need to take care of that and chase things that are gonna add on to that, not take from it. That was it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a short one, but it's something I've been meaning to talk about because it's something that has been on my mind. And it just so happened that I had this conversation with a friend not too long ago. So I'm curious though, I wanna know, can you relate to this? What's your take on happiness? Let me know in the comments down below. And that being said, as always, I hope you have a nice one. I hope you enjoyed the video and I shall see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.